When you see what's happening in the rise of the digital age, we've come a long way since the early 90s. In only one decade, we made it from the first banner ad to the launch of programmatic TV, transforming not only print, but also broadcast, merging these worlds into a digital and unique new format. If we zoom out a bit and look at these key milestones in terms of decades, you can see how quickly digital advertising has evolved. Back in the 1990s, website publishers were directly selling their ads to brands and agencies with a phone call and a handshake. There were clear benefits to publisher direct buys. Large publishers see these deals as key monetary stream because they can charge a higher price. Advertisers benefit from aligning their brand with another like-minded brand, and they can easily see the placement on their site. For example, if you're Nike and you have a new tennis shoe coming out, you may do a homepage takeover on runnersworld.com because you know that your core purchasing audience is aligned with that user base. While this ad model still exists, it's not the primary way in which publisher inventory is sold. This is due to 4 key reasons. First, selling directly to brands and agencies requires a sales force and brand recognition. You need to be a top publisher like the New York Times to invest in overhead of a sales force. Second, fundamentally, this all sounds simple. A marketer and a publisher make a deal directly, but it can be a very lengthy process, deciding on the cost, the exact placement, the creative assets, and then booking on the site to run. Also, even after the selling the key pages, most publishers still have unsold inventory. So there needs to be a way to sell this remaining space because it has value to a publisher. And lastly, for some marketers, direct buys don't provide the same efficiencies or precision that using programmatic does. Publisher direct is seen as more of a branding play, so it's hard to tie it directly to sales. Looking at the 2000s, small mom and pop websites began to take hold. These small publishers couldn't afford a sales team, but they had a very loyal user base. Aggregation was necessary because the web had exploded. There were too many sites for marketers to vet, call, and shake hands with. This is when ad networks were born. Instead of calling up 10 different sites and negotiating deals with them, ad networks allowed marketers and agencies to go through a network aggregator. Ad networks brokered deals with thousands of sites, bundled it for sale under categories and audiences. For example, you could buy luxury travel or financial news and be provided a sample site list you might run on. While marketers didn't know exactly where their ads would run, sites were packaged into easily purchasable segments. But there were negatives. A lot of the inventory was remnant, and it could be in an undesirable location, often requiring the user to scroll down to the page to see their ad they served on the 10th page they had navigated to on the site, or that the user had already stopped paying attention to those ads. There were also brand safety concerns. While marketers were usually provided a sample site list, they had minimal transparency where their ads were displayed. Most ad networks today have either folded, moved to niche content, or pivoted to programmatic advertising. Ad exchanges were the next disruptor to this model, and that advent really changed the game. Between 2007 and 2010, we saw the birth of ad exchanges like Yahoo's Right Media, Google AdX, Pubmatic, OpenX. They all provided marketplace for advertisers to make automated deals. Individual websites put up inventory to sell at auction, similar to the stock exchange, and marketers acted like stockholders, deciding what value they placed on that inventory and then bidding accordingly. Because of this massive collective marketplace, hundreds of billions of ad impressions are available daily across the exchanges. This is the birth of programmatic. But advertising has the risk of being just noise if you're not careful. We have all heard the phrase, right place, right time, right audience. But with the proliferation of data, we need technology to reach our customers in smarter ways. We are entering the AI era. The new technology will be transformative in how marketers reach and engage with their customers. So let's recap. In the 1990s, publishers sold ads directly to advertisers and agencies. In the 2000s, ad networks aggregated inventory and sold it to advertisers, helping fuel the rise of small publishers. In the 2010s, ad exchanges provided the inventory marketplace for automated deals and the birth of programmatic. And finally, in 2020 and beyond, we are entering the AI era, which is one of unique opportunity and efficiency.